Pauline, welcome to Georgetown. So how have you been?
I've been well, Sona. It's always lovely to be back here.
Nice to have you too. So how has the past 2 years been in terms of festival?
The festival, Georgetown Literary Festival, of course, I'm happy that it still happened for the past 2 years, but to be honest, it's been both exhilarating as always, but also quite exhausting and quite exasperating. Because of course we've just been through a pandemic, and the last 2 years we had to deal with the physical festival, which has always been physical, and it's been a kind of major event in Georgetown. We've had to shift everything online, and that was something new for us. As you know, I think all of us had quite a challenging task ahead of us, and also we had a lot of things to learn, but I hope that we've managed to pull it off well.
I would think it would have been a little bit more reflective maybe.
Yes.
In terms of live festival and the way you curated the entire festival.
Yes, it was reflective. I think one of the things that was a challenge to begin with was actually coming up with a theme that would encapsulate the moment for both last year and the year before. Because of course when we realized that it wasn't going to be possible to do a physical festival, and also to capture this singular moment in human history that no one has been through before, I think we needed to come up with a theme that would kind of speak to that, and at the same time not lose sight of the literary quality of the festival. So that was a challenge. It's so definitely reflective, but also I think we also tried to speak to the moment.
Now Pauline, you're definitely not new to the festival. I think this is your 5th. You've been with the festival since 2017,
yes.
19, 2020 and 2021, and you were the festival director since 2021.
Yes.
So what are some of the tips, tricks or methods you use to actually direct the festival?
I don't think there are any, I don't have a bag of tricks with me in terms of being a director of a GTLF, but I do think that one thing that is really essential for a successful festival is the team. I really think that the success of a festival depends on the team, and it's always been a matter of teamwork in terms of the curation as well as in terms of production. I see my role as a director perhaps in envisioning the festival and bringing it forward and really being something that ties it together in terms of the curation and the production. But I don't see myself as a leader in any sense. It's just that, you know, I think perhaps pushing a certain festival and also really reaching out to the various parts of the festival that we need to bring together in terms of not just the writers and the speakers that we have as guests, and not just the topics that we talk about, but also the partners that we work very closely with to enable the GTLF to be a success.
One thing everybody wants to know is that how far ahead before a festival you actually sit down and start planning?
It takes a lot longer than I think people imagine to plan a festival. It really takes up to a year, I think, for each edition. Ideally, that's the time that we need, if not more, to plan a proper edition of the GTLF. It's not a 3-month job for sure, even though I think what you see and the experience of the festival might just happen in a short space of time. The planning and the curation and the production that goes behind it is so much more, as you know. And I think we experienced another side of that during the last 2 years when it was virtual. So I really think it's always about striking a balance between the curation, the theme. Perhaps one of the tricks, if there's any, is to get the theme right. And it's also one of the challenges, I think, of any festival edition, is to come up with a theme that resonates with the times. It has to be something that's current and that's kind of a hot topic in some ways, but I think it also needs to have something that resonates with the eternal questions of literature. And so finding a balance between the now and the eternal is always something that's quite a challenge, which I think is fun also, that makes the festival fun to do. But then again, to also translate your vision into a reality, that's something else. And I think that takes not just curation, but the part that you are involved in, which is production, and I think that's such an essential part of the festival. So what about you, Swana? What are your tricks or perhaps your way of dealing with production?
I really didn't expect you to ask me this, so I'm not prepared, but no tricks actually, nothing at all. It's just a matter of understanding your direction for the year and what we really want to put out there, and in terms of the whole visual understanding, how as an audience goer what would they like to see. So that's where probably I come in, because I've always followed the festival. So whenever I do production, or I always think of it from the point of an audience, not backstage. Yeah, probably that's the only trick I have up my sleeve. So yeah. Okay. So the question that's on everybody's mind would probably be, how much do you miss a physical festival?
Oh, I miss it incredibly. I mean, I think there's no way we can get away from a physical festival. That's what Georgetown Literary Festival has always been, and I think that's where we want to always return to. Although I think that the last 2 years have been a real learning experience, and in fact, it's been quite a positive experience in many ways. Of course, we have missed the physical aspect of the festival, but I think we also discovered in the process the power of things like podcasting and the power of things like also really embracing the medium of video. And all those things, I think, are things that we can bring forward incorporate more into the festival as we go, even as we return to a physical state, which I do hope that we will do this year.
You've just answered the big question. So we're definitely doing physical this year.
For me, yes, absolutely yes. There's no way we can do anything other than a physical festival. However, like I said, I think there will be other aspects that are non-physical as well.
Okay, interesting. Moving on, probably your hopes for the year, now that you've just started planning for the year?
Well, my hope for the year, we haven't determined a theme yet, but from what I feel, I really would like to enter a theme that is somewhat more life-affirming this year, because I think that's what Georgetown is going through, and not just Georgetown, but the whole of Malaysia, and not just Malaysia, but the whole of the world. All of us are kind of emerging from this 2 years of a very difficult, unprecedented time. And of course, it's been a dark time for many of us. It's still a dark time in some places, and I think we also can't escape talking about those things. So as usual, I think the Georgetown Literary Festival will be a place where we talk about difficult issues, and that will never go away. The world is again facing war and crises in many parts of the world, and those are issues that we will touch on. However, I think the general thrust of the festival this year should be life-affirming, because I think that is what people need to engage in and to heal and recover and return to life.
I look forward to it. I think everybody would look forward to it as well.